What would you do if you stood outnumbered, weaponless, and cornered in the middle of a desert? Now imagine, in that moment of fear and silence, the skies open, and from the heavens descend warriors of light, their faces unseen, their power unmatched, fighting beside you. This isn't a scene from a fantasy novel. This is a real story, rooted in faith, legend, and history. A story passed down for centuries, whispered through prayers, etched into sacred texts. This is the Battle of Badr, and these are the angels of Badr, a moment when heaven met earth, and divine warriors changed the fate of a people forever. Stay with me till the end, because what happened that day in the Arabian desert will leave you breathless. Like, share, and subscribe for more epic legends from ancient history. If you don't follow, you might never hear from us again. It all began in the heart of the Arabian Peninsula, in the city of Mecca, a city rich in trade, culture, and ancient tradition, but also a city ruled by powerful clans, chief among them the Quraysh. When a man named Muhammad began calling people to worship one god and abandon idols, Mecca trembled. The Quraysh felt their power slipping, and they pushed back hard. Persecution grew fierce. Followers of the new faith, Islam, were beaten, tortured, even killed. Eventually, the Prophet Muhammad and his companions were forced to leave. They fled north to Yathrib, later called Medina. There, they found safety, but not peace, because the Quraysh still saw them as a threat, and war was only a matter of time. That war began in a valley called Badr, a quiet place 80 miles southwest of Medina, with no reason to be remembered until heaven stepped in. In the second year after migration, 624 CE, the Muslims heard news of a large Meccan caravan returning from Syria. It was led by Abu Sufyan and guarded by Meccan wealth. The Muslims saw an opportunity: intercept the caravan and pressure the Quraysh. But Abu Sufyan was no fool. He evaded the ambush and sent word to Mecca. The Quraysh responded with fury, sending an army of over 1,000 men, including their top warriors. The Muslims? Only about 313 men, lightly armed, no horses, no armor, no real military experience. They didn't march for glory. They marched out of duty, led by the Prophet himself. But on the eve of battle, with the enemy approaching, the Prophet did something extraordinary. He stood in the darkness, arms raised to the sky, and pleaded with his Lord. If this small group is destroyed today, you will not be worshipped on earth. That night, something stirred in the skies. Ancient Islamic traditions tell us that on that night, the heavens answered. The Quran itself records it. When you asked your Lord for help, he responded, I will reinforce you with 1,000 angels, rank after rank. Surah Al-Anfal 8:9. Eyewitnesses among the Muslims told of strange sights. A companion named Ibn Abbas said they saw warriors dressed in white, their voices unlike any human. Ali, the Prophet's cousin, would later tell of enemies struck down before he could even lift his sword. Some saw angels riding horses with wings, faces shining with divine light, cloaked in green and white. Others claimed the air itself buzzed with energy, as if lightning walked among them. These were not human soldiers. These were beings from another realm. Heaven had joined the fight. When the two armies finally met, the Muslims stood beside a water well. The Quraysh came in force, confident, proud, unstoppable. The Prophet raised his hands. O Allah, the Quraysh are full of pride and arrogance. They have come to fight you and your messenger. And then it began. The Muslims charged with courage fueled by faith. But something else happened, something unexplainable. Qurayshi warriors fell before they were touched. Their horses panicked. Their eyes widened in terror, as if seeing something invisible. One said he heard voices from the sky, shouting in a language he didn't know. Another claimed he was struck by a hand with no body behind it. In a single day, the Quraysh lost 70 of their strongest men, including leaders like Abu Jahl, the pharaoh of his time. The Muslims? They lost only 14. Against all odds, they won. But many said the victory did not come from them. It came from above. After the dust settled, companions of the Prophet spoke about what they had seen. One man said he saw an enemy struck down by a whip of light. Another described seeing a warrior with wings, riding a horse that never touched the ground. Some skeptics said these were illusions, but those who were there never doubted what they saw. To them, the angels of Badr were as real as the sun and sand. And for those who believed, this moment was proof that when truth stands firm, even the sky sends reinforcements. The Battle of Badr became more than a military win. It became a a story told in whispers and sermons, remembered every year in prayer. For centuries, Muslim scholars, poets, and mystics spoke of the day angels walked beside men. They called it the day of criterion, the day truth was separated from falsehood. Even today, the name Badr echoes in hearts across the world. The valley still exists. Quiet, ordinary, but those who visit feel something different in the air. It's not just history, it's a living memory. The story of Badr reminds us, when all seems lost, when odds are against you, when darkness gathers, light can still break through. Help can come from where you least expect, even from the sky. Whether you see it as myth, miracle, or message, one truth remains. Something happened in that desert, something beyond human hands, and it changed the course of history forever. The angels of Badr, they came once, and they were never forgotten.